Hey everybody, Craig Valine here. Just wanted to check in and kind of share a story about the big lie that people tell themselves about getting business through referrals. I did a strategy session with someone that I met at a business event recently, and I said, I always ask, how do you get most of your business? And when somebody says that they get most of their business from referrals, I know that it may be true, but they don't have a successful business because in most cases, there are rare exceptions. And this person wasn't doing anything else. I'm saying, what other marketing strategies are you using to drive business? They attend networking events and things like that. And generally when people just do that, especially general events like chamber events or mixers and things like that, it's because they're afraid to market. They're either afraid to market or they don't know how to market. And what they say is they get most of the business through referrals, which may be true, but it's few and far between. They're not living up to their business potential. So I said, you don't have a referral business if you don't have a system attached to it. Meaning when you start the relationship, do you tell them in advance that you get most of your business through referrals and that I'm going to bring you a ton of value, and in exchange for that, I expect you to refer one or two people to me. There's a dentist in Australia named Patty Lund, if you've never heard of this, and he was a struggling dentist making about 40,000 US dollars per year. And, people would cancel on him. They'd be late. They never referred. And one day he just got tired of it and he shut down his business. He took the sign off the storefront and he made himself a by referral only business. And the way he changed his waiting room into a little salon. So before anybody would become a patient, they'd have to come in and meet with him, and he would have to kind of gauge them, qualify them, and prepare them for what the relationship should be. And that was, I owe you a lot. You've been referred to me by one of my happy patients. In exchange for that, I owe you a lot. I owe you to always be on time. If I'm going to cancel, I'll do so within 48 hours. You'll never wait 5 minutes long in the waiting room. Your care will be pain-free, et cetera, et cetera. He listed about 10 things. And he said, in exchange for that, if I do all that for you, here's what I expect of you. I expect two people to be referred to me of similar character to yourself. Now that reveres them of being of great character. And that's pretty powerful. The most common response that he would get from people is, can I refer more than two? Of course. But that's a system. You're setting it up in advance that this is the expectation from what you'll get from me. And in return, I expect this from you. Fair enough? Sure. There's another one that a nice system that a financial advisor named Matt Zagula scripted, and it's for after the sale. And I don't have a book with me, but let's just say I had a book, and he says, basically, God, it's been fantastic working with you. I enjoy working with you. God, if I could hit the repeat button every time, I would get a client just like you. I don't know if you know this, but I don't advertise. And I get most of my business through referrals, just like you were referred to me. I don't know if when you're and then you would isolate a location if you know anything about them. I don't know if you're at the golf club or if you're at the chamber mixer, wherever you are, you're at your son's school. If the conversation should ever come up about finances and et cetera, whatever, insert your industry there, would you do me a favor and hand them this book and say, this is my guy. This is the guy that I trust to plan my financial future. This is the guy. Give him a call. Read the book and then give him a call. Would you do that for me? Now, again, by phrasing it, God, if I could hit the repeat button every time, you're revering them of being of great character, of being of importance. They're good people. And that's going to go to their ego. And they're going to think, yeah, well, sure, I know lots of other people who might come up. Sure, of course. And they'll take the tool. The benefit of having something to give them, by the way, is that, number one, the only thing that they have to do is give their testimonial. This is my guy. This is the person I trust for my financial future. But the book will do the selling for them as well. The book will, if it's structured properly, or the guide or the tool or the one sheet, whatever you have to use as a tool, give it to them so that it can do the selling for you. It can prepare them in advance for what they should expect when they do business with you. So those are two systems. One is before and one is after. You got to decide what part of that sales process that works best for you. The other thing is, again, have tools. I don't have my book on the desk, but I usually use my book. And, if someone says, I love working with them, give them my book. Say, hey, if the conversation should ever come up about, I need more clients, I'd like to make a lot more money in my business, or my advertising isn't working as good as it used to, would you give them my book? It's powerful. you've got to have tools. If you have a DVD, if you have like a small, a short book or consumer awareness guide or whatever, have a system in place where these things are done systematically. Every time, either at the beginning or the end or somewhere in between, that this is done. The other thing is you've got to, think about putting on referral events or something that can gather, number one, your best clients or customers or patients in one room. Do it a customer appreciation event where the requirement is they got to bring someone. I have a former mastermind member, Dr. Emily Letran, who does a patient appreciation event every year. And she basically rents out a movie theater. And that, number one, it allows her to showcase all the patients that she's got, right, by them all congregating in one room. She does a little presentation up at the front of the room. She acknowledges patients, number one, referred, but not that are great customers or great patients. She gives away gifts and things and makes it very fun. That's a good kind of system to do. So please don't lie to yourself if you're just getting business from quote unquote referrals, like whenever they trickle in, because that's not a business. That's hope. And hope is not a strategy. You got to have a systematic approach to getting referrals on a regular basis. And by the way, you reduce the cost of your advertising, your marketing by getting your referrals to refer and refer again. Okay. If it took, let's say you paid to get one customer in the door and it cost you $1,000. But if they refer, if you set that system in advance and let them know that it is part of the overall expectations, this is what we do around here, we refer. So if they refer someone, that cuts their acquisition cost in half. You see, because it took you $1,000 to acquire one customer or patient or client. And if they bring in one, now you've just cut that in half. What if that person refers? Then it cuts it into a third, so on and so forth. So you cut your marketing costs down by having systems in place. Hope this makes sense to you. Whatever business you're in, whether you're a professional practice, you sell a professional service, whatever you do, have a system in place to make sure that they reliably and systematically come in to your business. So that's all I got for now. This call that I was on with this person was a strategy call. And I commonly do that with people who seek out my services. So they'll say, hey, I'd like to pick your brain, or I like to, what I want to do is I've got to qualify them first. And one of the things that's necessary is they've got to be spending some money on marketing and advertising for me to work with you. You've got to be investing in yourself. Do you read? Do you watch? Do you listen to podcasts? Do you read books? Do you do stuff like that? But generally, then I get them on a call and I'll quiz them, break it down, say, tell me about your business. How do you get your current clients? What was your income last month? What's your marketing budget? What type of media you're using? And then only then, because what my core focus is leveraging current marketing and finding hidden opportunities for profit within the business. So I just want to make sure that you're doing things, because if you're doing things, then we can find out a better way to get better results from them. Or not, we got to test. The other thing is, what are you leaving on the table? What don't you even see that you could be exploiting for profit within the business? So that's what I do on those strategy calls. And if it interests you at all, if you want to find out where the hidden opportunities are within your business or how you might get a far better result for the same time, money, and effort you're already spending, go to speakwithcraig.com and book a call with me. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything. We're going to talk. Quite frankly, it's not a sales call, but what it is if it makes sense for us to work together, I'll ask. And if you want to, you can. If you don't, that's fine with me. It's more exploratory, to find out where are the real hidden things in your business. The other thing I said about systems is I believe in doing what you do best, whatever your business is, systemize the rest, automate the rest. So if you don't have automated referral systems, automated email systems, automated customer service systems, then that's something that needs to be uncovered. So if this was helpful at all, number one, if I can be of any help to you, if you have questions about your current systems in place, whether it's referral systems, direct mail systems, email systems, whatever, go to speakwithcraig.com and book a call with me. I'll send you a questionnaire ahead of time so I can learn a little bit about your business, and then we'll get on and we'll talk. Again, it's free. The other thing is, if this was of any help to you, share it with somebody else. Let somebody else share it with the world. Maybe someone else will benefit from it that isn't directly on my list. So that's it for now.